Hey everyone, welcome to the first episode of Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, Sith Lords. Now, I don't know if this is going to run properly because it's such an old game. I'm not sure this is let's call it Lieutenant Yak. So yeah, last time I played this game was so we can use heavy armor and should be good at negotiations. Should be fun. A long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. God, this takes me back.
Hyperdrive offline. Multiple hull breaches detected. Proximity alert.
Interesting fact is, this game was before they finished their version.
The Ebon Hawk is adrift in space after a terrible battle. Most of its crew are dead or dying. You lie in the medical room in critical condition. You won't survive long without medical attention. The hyperdrive is damaged. Main power must be restored in order to bring the engines online and dock with the nearby Paragus mining station for much-needed repairs. Your fate and that of the Ebon Hawk depend upon T3M4, a lone astromech droid. Return to this location at any time to skip the prologue. Press WASD to move T3M4. You have new quest. New quest. Open the gate. This room contains a glass steel cylinder. You will come across many containers, some of which will be some responses may. Furthermore, certain 3CFD is malfunctioning. If you repair 3CF success, you 3CFD is now a member of your party. To change which party member you control, click on their portrait or press tab. Later, sensor droids emerged from this box when you opened it. These droids will make for excellent target. You can equip T3M4 must equip a blaster. Attacking the sensor droids. To open the equip screen, click on the blaster icon. Change your target by pressing right-click on the object you want to prevent or defeating the sensor droids. To continue combat training, open the metal box again, and more sensor droids will appear. If you encounter a difficult lock on a container or door, you can use a security tunneler on it to improve your check. To lock on this metal box, solo mode, default. This blast door is magnetically sealed and cannot be opened. This door is sealed shut, but the magnetic clamps are not engaged. You may be able to override the door's locking mechanism from out. This door is sealed shut, but the magnetic. When the Ebon Hawk has landed, this is where you will go to exit the ship. This is the garage. These sparking wires connect to the trigger mechanism for the inner and outer garage doors. You can't open the outer. Door closed. Do you want to do anything? This is because of the damage to the use the workbench to break down. These door. Do you want to? Access the area. This is the garage. Access the area beyond the door. You will have While some doors can be bashed open or cut open.
Yeah.
This is the medical. You are in critical condition. The med pack can stabilize. Success. You are stabilized. To recover fully, you will require the medical facilities at the Paragus mining station, but you are not in any danger of dying from your wounds right now. This is the utility lift. You can use this lift. This is the starboard side of the Ebon Hawk. This open hatch has some parts that will be useful for getting main power restored. This busted engine port has some needed parts for the Ebon Hawk's hyperdrive. Take the parts here back. This busted engine port has some needed parts for the Ebon Hawk's hyperdrive. Take the parts here back down below to get main power. This is the starboard side of the Ebon Hawk. Don't forget to explore the other side of the Ebon Hawk. This is the port side of the Ebon Hawk. The bubbles ahead indicate mines that you've detected automatically with your awareness skill. Some mines require higher awareness. Approach mines carefully. They will blow up and damage you if you get to. Recovering mines requires a higher. Explosive device in this missile to blow open the engine room door inside the. You can use the explosive device in this missile to blow open the engine room door inside the Ebon Hawk. This will give you access to the hyperdrive. After you plant a mine, back away quickly so that you do not take damage. Return to the galaxy map in the cockpit and travel to Paragus. sensors show the door to the storage compartment is being sliced. There is someone, or something, else alive on the Ebon Hawk.
Still examining the survivors of the damaged freighter. Looks like it goes by the name of the Ebon Hawk. Only one survivor, placed in the coltal tank for recovery. The carbon scoring on the vessel suggests it was in a battle, but no indication of who fired on it. Couldn't get much from the Nava computer. I'm surprised the ship was able to make it inside the Paragus asteroid field without the asteroid drift charts. Aside from the lone survivor, we recovered an old woman. No life signs. There was also a protocol droid and a utility droid on board. Sent both down to maintenance while security sorts through the other items on the ship. It looks like the utility droid, a T3 unit, was able to get the ship working enough to get to the colony. We're prepared to... Could be a Jedi, but we won't know for sure until we get the transmission back from the Republic. If the survivor is a Jedi, that would account for the recovery rate. But I'm more concerned that a Jedi here may cause trouble. Some of the miners, especially Corta, are already Another accident today. A detonation in the ventilation tunnels. If the lockdown measures hadn't activated, the whole facility would have been destroyed. Got most of the injured to the colto tanks in time, but the rest had to go to the morgue. One of the wounded said a droid caused the accident, but we couldn't get any specifics. Minors about the Jedi. A number of the droids have been acting oddly, and not even memory wipes seem to be fixing the problem. There was a detonation in another one of the fuel vents the droids were working in. We deactivated several of them and moved them down to maintenance, but we're still treating the plasma burns. That cuts us down to almost half shifts, and with the droids malfunctioning, we may not make the Telos shipment for this month. Fortunately, the detonation didn't cause a lockdown.
Warning. There has been a fuel detonation in the mining tunnels. Emergency lockdown commencing. All personnel report to quarters and prepare for emergency venting countermeasures.
No! If the ventilation systems are malfunctioning, evacuate the medical bay. Everyone evacuate.
Find what you're looking for amongst the dead? Close to death. Yes, closer than I'd like. You have the smell of the Kolto tank about you. How do you feel? I am Kreia, and I am your rescuer, as you are mine. Tell me, do you recall what happened? Your ship was attacked. You were the only survivor, a result of your Jedi training, no doubt. Your stance, your walk tells me you are a Jedi. Your walk is heavy. You carry something that weighs you down. So it would seem. Keep your past and let us focus. I do not know. I was removed from the events of the world as I slept. A survey of the surroundings may provide the answers we seek. The ship we arrived in must still be in this place. We were attacked once, and I fear our attackers will not give up the hunt so easily. Without transport... You may wish to extend your search to some clothes, if only for proper first impression. I do not know. Why did they spare you? Indeed, a Jedi trance could protect one from such poisons. In fact, the sedatives may have been intended to keep you unconscious for some. It would prove lethal. And so do you. Perhaps we could discuss it at... I have found that answers come in their own time, not... I leave you to the explorations of this place. Here I will remain and attempt to center myself. Yes? What? I do not know. Indeed, a Jedi, it would prove lethal to those untrained in such... Yes? I am recovering. When I have recovered, I will do what I... Yes? Not anymore, no. But again...
Emergency lockdown overridden. Emergency lockdown is in effect. Turbolifts have been sealed to contain the explosion.
This is the exit, but it is sealed. Strange. In my visions, it was open.
Is this thing on? All right, all hands, especially you, Corda. Listen up, because I'm not gonna say this again. The next one of you Juma heads to try and smuggle a blaster, or so help me, any sort of military-grade frag weapons into my facility is gonna take a long walk out the airlock. Why? Because in case you forgot, Paragian fuel explodes at high temperatures. That's what blasted that chunk out of Paragus 2 and created this asteroid field. So if I catch any of you with anything other than sonic charges or mining lasers, I'll burn you and your contract. Security out. And according to one of the miners, it was because one of the sonic charges went off prematurely. And like before, it was one set by a mining droid. The three idiots were grouped so close to the charge, it might as well have been a grenade going off. The blast turned their bones to dust. The blast wrecked the internal components of the droid that set the charge, though, so we can't even dissect it to see what happened. I don't like what's going on here. Ever since that Jedi showed up, things are getting worse. It's not just Corda and his miners, or the fights, but now the droids are acting crazy. If we don't find what's causing this, or who, this facility's gonna be space dust by the time the next Telos freighter arrives. So, you're in maintenance. Then maybe you can tell me what's going on with these droids.
Sir, I don't know. It's like their behavior cores are undergoing binary decay, but I can't find the source. This shouldn't be happening.
Well, that's reassuring. It isn't happening. So the next time we nearly have a breach in the ventilation tunnels, I can just close my eyes and pretend it's my imagination. You better give me some answers. I want to know the damage these droids can do if they start mining us instead of asteroid rock.
Sir, these droids aren't combat models. Their mining lasers are weaker and less accurate than blasters. I doubt those droids could even hit one of us.
Are you blind? What about the miners in Medbay? It's sabotage, and it started right after the commander said we weren't going to sell the Jedi to the exchange. So I want you to find out how these droids are being sabotaged. That'll tell me who's trying to clear a path to get that Jedi off the facility and stop him. In the meantime, make sure the security's armed with all the ion and sonic charges you can find. If those droids start coming after me, I'm gonna need more than low-grade mining lasers to take them down. Clear?
Yes, sir. Maintenance control out.
Idiot. I installed an override switch to shut down any droids on this level, just in case someone locks me out of the administration console. As added insurance, I tied the override switch into the circuit to the holding cell door. It'll make sure it can only be opened if all droids in the level are shut down. I doubt Corda or any of his men have the skill to pull off something like this. But I'm not taking any chances while we're sitting in the middle of this asteroid minefield. Whoever's responsible won't be able to have the droids rescue him after I lock him up. Nothing will cut through that door. He'll be trapped. I secured the stealth field generator inside one of the footlockers in the security storage room. If I have the specs right, the interface field should be effective against the droid's sensors. All I need to do is equip the belt, and some skill with stealth in order to use it. As long as I don't get too close to the droids, they shouldn't detect me. If any more droids start malfunctioning, the belt should buy me enough time to get to the override switch I set up in the communications blister. I'd rather shut them down than destroy them. I want to find out how these droids are being sabotaged, maybe even turn them against whoever's
Be careful. There is much energy in the room beyond, yet it stems from nothing that lives. Can you not sense them? Reach out. Cast aside your sight. You can feel. You hear. It is the Force. Do not turn. Come. Beyond this door, someone yet lives. But you have nothing to fear from...
Nice outfit. What, you miners change regulation uniform while I've been in here? Security claimed I violated some trumped-up regulation or another. Take it up with them if you want. But they stopped listening to me shortly before they stopped feeding me. Now that's criminal. You mean before or after that Jedi showed up? Either way, it's a real short story. You see, this Jedi shows up, and you know what that means. Where there's one Jedi, the Republic will soon be crawling up your ion engine in no time. But the story gets better. See, some of the miners get it into their ferrocrete skulls that since the Jedi's unconscious, they can collect the bounty the exchange has posted for live Jedi. Well, what passes for the law here didn't like that idea. So the two groups started fighting. Then there was some big explosion, and then I was sitting here for a long time, waiting for some half-naked miner to show up and ask a bunch of questions. Don't know much about it. Maybe the exchange wants one as a trophy, or somebody's got something against Jedi and is looking... Not many Jedi left. The ones that weren't killed in the Jedi Civil War ended up switching off the lightsabers long ago. Word is there's not even a Jedi Council anymore, but who knows? Yeah, Revan, Malak, and the Jedi that went to join them in the Mandalorian Wars. They turned against the other Jedi and had a scrap that almost laid waste to the galaxy. Where have you been? Well, I wasn't there, but like all Sith, Revan and Malak turned on each other. After they turned on the Jedi, of course. Well, that was the story, but whatever happened there must not have lasted. Oh, there was some big civil war on Korriban. Knocked that academy to the ground. Looks like Revan's grand crusade finally consumed her. Yeah, well, when she became a Sith Lord, she sure didn't stop. She killed her way across half the galaxy. The males are bad enough, but when a woman falls to the dark side, you better space yourself before they catch you. Look, hey, wait a minute. Well, the miners can't all be gone, but if they are, look, hey. This facility isn't a military installation, which means we may have a chance. You shut down this cell security feed. Huh? What are you talking about? So you done interrogating? No deal. If I... Great. Now... Alright, here we are. Now this console is set on automatic hail. You may have heard it when you... The asteroid drift charts are constantly being updated, so it sends out a transmission to incoming vessels so they don't get crushed into... The hail warns them to keep their distance until orbital drift charts are transmitted, and then provides docking instructions to incoming ships. Usually... Thing is, you can bounce that same transmission back to the comm here, and suddenly you've got access to the communication system from the inside. Pure Pazak. The console's ours. Now, all we need to do is reactivate the turbo lifts, cancel the emergency lockdown. Hey! This system's been severed from the main hub, after it was locked down from remote. You can't even reroute the system. That's my guess. To cut off the console specifically from remote, then sever the hub. Doesn't get any more I doubt it. All we have is communications back. For all the good trying to shout in a vacuum will do it. We could try, but if the miners were trying to trap you up here and probably... Be my guest.
A lot of cargo from the Jedi's freighter is being stored in the secure cargo hold until we can pass it through the quarantine checks. And as requested, all the programming spikes the security officers wanted confiscated have been stored there as well, to prevent further system compromises. The secure cargo hold should be safe enough. If anybody wants to break into it, they'd have to blow it open with explosives. Who ordered the mining droids to repair that Jedi's freighter? I come in here off the work shift and 3 of them are repairing the port stabilizers? Did I miss something? Is somebody planning a trip? Because orders were that the hangar was to be locked down ever since that Jedi arrived. I don't know what maintenance is up to, but you can't just commission droids for repairs, especially with half the work shifts in medbay. Those droids are needed to repair the ventilation tunnels before gas builds up to terminal levels. It's not like that ship can go anywhere anyway. Even if it had the asteroid orbital drift charts, the navicomputer's been voice-locked. You'd need the access code to get it spaceworthy. Considering this latest droid commission breach, I'm putting the droids in this section under the control of the current dock officer. If anyone sends commands to the mining droids outside this terminal, I'll be forced to enact full override. Looks like those droids got the vessel working again, even with all the damage it had taken. The maintenance officer still won't admit ordering them to fix it, though. Regardless, still no luck accessing the navicomputer. It's been voice-locked, maybe by one of the corpses we found on the ship. Like the old woman. If so, that ship isn't going anywhere, unless we rip out the navicomputer and put in a new one. If we even had one to spare. The only reason someone would lock their navicomputer is to hide their astrogation charts. Someone didn't want us to know where that ship was going. Or where it had been. Only smugglers do that. Or someone with something to hide. That Jedi's...
So is that stupid droid of yours gonna come through or not? Well, I'm beginning to think I was... Hey, what do you know? A little cargo... If he got the turbo lifts working, then we should have a clear... Wait. Don't tell me you're taking that hatch down into the mining tunnels. Are you? That explosion I heard came from below. Me? You're the I'll take coward over stupid any... Found anything?
Emergency lockdown is in effect. Turbolifts have been sealed to contain.
There's a lot of interference down there. Still, it looks like there's a route down to the Paragas fuel depot. There should be an emergency crate in the next room. Watch yourself. There's a lot... Will do. And be careful down there. Find the emergency supplies? About time. The whole half-naked... Look, there may be some survey gear is... Yeah, it's like a military-issue energy shield, except it won't last forever. And certainly not against... Just equip it on your... Just one more thing. I've narrowed down some of the ID signals, and if the numbers are right, you're sharing those tunnels with a battalion of mining droids. You could, if you have the skill in a stealth field generator. These droids... The good thing is, that explosion down there kicked up so much heat and steam it may blind them. A bit. Well, these are construction models. They shoot like a moisture farmer militia, since they rely on ranged weapons. Get in close... You could, if... There's gotta be some central controller down there. See if you can... Watch where you step. I'm picking up a lot of... If you have any skill with demolition, if you have... Hey, watch out. That explosion is super... If you can find a mining energy shield... The central droid controller should be somewhere nearby. Keep an eye out. I'm picking up a lot of droids. If you still have a mining energy shield... Sensor? It must... Still. It's odd they're still active after... Be careful of those droids.
Anybody here?
What's up, Kurta? We're supposed to be sinking fuel siphons into the 3218 asteroid shuttle.
Forget the siphons. You know that Malachor 5? So he's one of the survivors. Not a survivor, idiot. He's one of the Jedi from Malachor 5.
If he's one of the Jedi, hell, we can't have him walking around here. Well, I don't know what.
I thought all the Jedi were wiped out in the Civil War.
Guess they missed one.
What? You want to sell the Jedi to the exchange?
Look, Gorda, there's no way the officers will go for that. Then we'll improvise.
Greeting. It is a pleasure to see you alive, Master, provided my receptors are not off focus. How may I be of assistance? Pitying answer. Oh, that is unfortunate, Master. The hangar is... Answer. Only the Paragus administration officer would have such codes if he hasn't already been murdered in a... Theory. You could walk across the surface of the asteroid. Warning. Master, continued exploration of this facility may place you in unnecessary... I encourage you to return to the medical bay and wait for retrieval from a vessel that is no doubt on the way, even as we... Weary resignation. Very well, Master, but there is very little that I can do. You see, the airlock is... Correction. Oh, I already possess the code. Condescending explanation. Musing. Conjecture. I suspect. Condescending explanation. Answer. Of course. Condescending explanation. Musing. Conjecture. Answer. Greeting. Hesitant answer. However, this individual... Of course. Answer. Recitation.
5 droids, burning through the outer door. They're forcing their way into the bay. Oh, my leg! They're burning through my leg!
Addendum. Objection. Master, to commit such an act would be in violation of the ethics. Proud answer. Master, I believe my... Recitation. Maintenance control voice print ID R1B5. There. What? Alarmed objection. Oh, Master, no. I might inadvertently speak such a command. I was merely speaking such to... Confused query. I am... Answer. Objection. Irritated objection. A recitation. Maintenance control voice print ID. There. Was that sufficient?
you